Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, took that trip to Taiwan, and you turned around and said, well, Taiwan's part of China. It's been agreed a long time. Why did you have that reaction then? Was it because of all the sort of militarist build-up in the Western press that you saw? What were you thinking behind that?
Also, the history is there from 1972 when Nixon visited China, and when they came up with the Shanghai communique, where the United States government officially and absolutely agreed that there was only one China, and that it was governed by it was the People's Republic of China, and it was governed by the Chinese Communist Party, and that is China, and part of China is Taiwan. Chinese people who live in Taiwan and the Chinese people who live in mainland China, so it's for them. It's none of our business, and this is something that we seem to have failed to comprehend, and it's certainly none of Nancy Pelosi's business, and shows that she has no idea what diplomacy is or the way one nation should treat another nation in terms of their foreign policy.
Well, I mean, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, we've got Joe Biden administration. What do you think in their policy of China? Because they have been criticised out of Beijing for salami slicing away the one China policy and the principle, of course, upheld by Beijing, and the very recognition of the PRC as the sole government of the Chinese people that you were talking about just now.
My personal view would be that Joe Biden and Blinken should be talking to the Chinese leadership in as civil and diplomatic terms as they can possibly muster. And unfortunately, they're not. They're being extremely aggressive with them.
I just wanted to circle back to one thing on Taiwan, because obviously we're a Chinese network and we look at this all the time. What do you think about this sort of stuff in the press about China encircling the island of Taiwan, and then the sort of military response that we've been seeing from Washington, the region? I mean, where do you see it going, and what's your message in terms of toning it down?
Well, as I said in that interview with Michael Smerconish, I said, the Chinese can't encircle Taiwan. Taiwan is part of China. And we've all completely accepted that for the last 50 years. Right. Eventually...
At the UN, elsewhere,
And everybody. The whole world has accepted. The encircling that's going on is the encircling of China by the United States of America, and their attempts now to push NATO into the South China Sea. It is so provocative. It really just makes you think that they're serious, because the American media, I believe, because I don't read their papers, I don't look at their TV. You won't catch me watching MSNBC or Fox or anything in between, because it's all nonsense.